Well, that didn't take long.
Exactly. I think that might be some kind of record.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to get it shared out.
Snowflakes.
Dang, someone's comment was already filtered to protect the community's experience. Let's go tap the screen and we'll open up the boxes for the conversation. Let us know what you think. What do you want to come up and have the conversation with us on?
Right, tap the screen to 1K likes and then you can come up and have a chat. All right, Josh.
I think America has spoken. We don't want an old white man in office. We're ready for someone young who understands the people. Yep, tap the screen, share the live. Once we're up over 1,000, we can open it up.
Right, keep tapping 300 more likes and we can talk about it.
Yep, no old white men in office, please, and thank you very much. Trump is showing signs of cognitive decline. That doesn't bode well for the office of the presidency. We need somebody who's younger, who's more in touch with the people, and who doesn't say right out of his mouth that he wants to be a dictator for a day. You know, he's got 34 felonies. He was a convicted or found liable for SA.
I see dead people.
Right, Jameer, give us your age, race, and pronouns. And Coop, can you mute your mic?
I see dead people.
Are you looking in the mirror?
I see dead people.
Right. Rusty Gear, can you give us your age, race, and pronouns?
Hello?
Right, can you hear us?
Oh. Hello?
Rusty, can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you. Through my hearing aid. Hello?
Right, Rusty, can you give us your age, race, and pronouns?
My race?
Uh-huh.
White.
And your age?
82.
Okay, and can you give us your pronouns? Is it he, him?
What the fuck is that?
If you're not going to answer, I'm going to drop you.
What the fuck? I'm a man.
So she, her, they, them?
Yeah.
Right, what are your thoughts
What?
on the background?
What background?
Lord have mercy.
Being so
The trolls
horny.
are out early. They really are. It's
Right,
kind
so
of funny to watch.
Rusty is having difficulty. Right. Kook, do you want to give us your age, race, and pronouns?
Yes, hi. I'm 18. I'm black,
I'm
and
back.
my
Oh, sorry.
pronouns are she, her.
All right, and give us your thoughts on the background.
I just want to join and say that I completely agree with the background. We have never had a female president, and I think it's about time America starts to progress out of the patriarchy. So yeah, I agree with you guys. And also something that I noticed with the with people who support Trump, they only say that like liberals or Democrats or whatever, that they only want to vote for Kamala because she's a woman, but that's not true whatsoever. Because most of the same people who were voting for Kamala are the same people who were voting for Joe Biden, a white male. So I don't understand why they keep pushing that narrative, because it's not true whatsoever. It's an added bonus that she's a black woman, but that's not the sole reason.
Hello.
Right, Herbert, can you mute your mic for a minute? Grammy, did you want to say something? Because I see that you unmuted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was unmuted. I apologize. But yes, I would like to say something. To the emotional white men that chose to report me, I'm back. I'm back.
All right, thank you, Grammy. Herbert.
Hello. Well, I'm seeing the topic, and the reason I joined, I'm actually one of the older Southern Democrats that still kind of hang around in Louisiana. And I was behind Joe Biden when I was younger. I remember when he was in office, and I thought that he was doing a pretty good job. But ever since he dropped out, I'm really struggling getting behind Kamala Harris, because she's a she-boo nigger, and us Southern Democrats, we don't like niggers at all. So
Oh, poor baby.
nice.
That must suck to know, that pretty soon, like, your whole world is going to be flipped upside down. You're pretty scared, aren't you? That's why you're doing this kind of behavior? Because you're terrified? Because you're terrified? Your insecurities,
I just don't like niggers. I'm not insecure. I don't like niggers. They
roll off of
destroy.
you, sir. You're very
destroy
insecure,
things.
or you would not
They
have
burn
felt the
cities to the
need.
ground. I hate niggers.
You
What do you want me to
are
tell you?
an insecure white man.
Why
That's
are you
why
why are you
felt the
bullying
need
Herbert? Why are
to
you
jump
saying
up
this
here
about
and
Herbert?
do
Did
that.
you not hear what Herbert just said, Psychic? Jet Set Psychic? Did you not?
So
They
Jet
did. They're
is going
here
to come up here
stand up for
and
it.
simp for the man that dropped the N-word twice.
But that's
So
okay.
go ahead, Jet. Jet
Go for
heard
it.
He
everything
just said he
Herbert
hated
just
black
said.
people.
We're going to
Yeah.
record you too, Jet. Let's go.
Yep, and she very much heard what Herbert said. She just wants to cape for the racist man.
Well, come on, give it to us. Let's go.
Let's go. What do you got for us, Jet?
So you're gonna report me for what? Sticking up for somebody? Like,
Sticking up for
Sticking up for
the
a racist? Why are
Yes.
you
Love
sticking up for a
nothing. Wait a minute.
racist?
but here's my question: how are you gonna
Whatever
report
your
me
name
when
is,
there's
give us 1
foul
second.
language on this live?
Sir, no, ma'am. No one is reporting you. We want to have
You
a
just said that
conversation.
you're gonna report
Feel
me.
free. No, I said record, not report. Record, like video record.
They
These
say
lives are
record or
recorded.
record?
No, record. They're recorded. They're recorded by us and by TikTok. So we can take your faces and your voices and match them to other things on your pages and then put them out there for everybody on Facebook to see. So your families can hear the things that you guys get up here and say. So can your schools and your jobs and everybody else. So go ahead, stand up for Herbert the racist. Let's have it.
Wait, my job? I don't have a job.
We believe it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dan, did you have something else to add, or can we drop you back down to the comments? I'm going to guess you didn't have nothing else to add. Thanks. Have a good day.
I bet she's scared after you said what you were going to do.
And no, I didn't say report. I said record. I
Yeah.
always say the
Yo,
same
yo,
thing. I say
yo.
it every night. Record. We record these. We record them. They're recorded by TikTok, and we record them. We record them ourselves specifically so we can clip you fools. But go ahead, keep it up.
Right, True IP.
Yo, yo, yo.
Right, what are your thoughts on the background?
I mean, I don't like Kamala Harris very much, but Henry was going crazy. What was that about? Huh?
What did you say?
Real estate. This guy named Henry just started saying the hard R for no reason. But I said I don't like Kamala Harris very much, but I was just more concerned with what Henry was talking about. What's he saying, bro? What's wrong
So
with him?
that's who you vote next to. The people that vote for Trump, that's who those people are.
Yep.
Well, he finds it funny anyway, so.
Okay, because again, they're recorded.
What's wrong with me finding it funny? You're gonna record me too?
I don't have to. Oh, I got
Oh
my
my
bounce.
God,
Be right
people are
back.
reporting. Fragile white teen
Okay, it'll
folks
get
are
appealed. It'll get
reporting.
appealed. It'll be okay. They're fragile. We know it.
No, but yeah. I don't know what Henry was talking about, but I don't like Kamala Harris that much since you asked me about the prompt.
Why not?
I don't know. It just doesn't seem sincere to me. Just
What
from
doesn't seem sincere?
it's just like it's like I've had people come into my life, right? And not to say it's necessarily fact or it's Kamala Harris's fault, but it's just like the vibe she gives off just aligns with people that have also just not been genuine.
So, can I make a point? So, you're saying the vibe she gives off aligns with people who aren't genuine. So, for example, let's circle back to Henry. People like Henry, people who are like Proud Boys, KKK members, people like that. Who do you think they align themselves with? None of those people are voting for Kamala. Those people are all voting for Trump. All these racist, crazy people like Henry we just saw, they're all voting for Trump. So I'm like, I don't understand what you just said when we have Trump and every person who's racist, openly racist, they all show their support for Trump. So I don't understand.
I mean, I hear you, but I think there's a lot of, not to say that like there's a lot of people, because Harry is a YT man that goes into like Black Lives and says that stuff. I'm not going to say there's a lot of black people that do the other thing, but I think there are like a lot of racist black people in general. I don't think that should.
Absolutely not. We're not going to do that.
So you just admitted that you know of Henry or whatever. So that's probably why you found it so funny what he did. But you also just admitted that you've never seen any black people doing the reverse, but you still think a lot of black people are racist.
In reality, black people cannot be racist.
Can I say what I s- Can I say what I
Not
said?
if
What
you're
I
going to
said though?
spread misinformation. No, I'll mute you, just so you're
I'm
aware.
not. I'm not.
You did, though, when you said black people could be racist.
All right, sure. The Jibin, go. Cool. The reason I knew what Henry was doing is because I have more than 2 brain cells, bro. It's not because I know Henry, bro.
You know what
I don't.
Henry.
I don't know. I don't know Henry. I don't know anything about Henry. I just came to the
True.
live.
You literally just said that he goes into black spaces and does that all the time, but you know nothing about him.
I didn't say he does it all the time. I said he does that because I just seen him doing it. That's
Okay,
just
but that's the reality.
Yeah.
You've seen him and you know about it and you think
No,
it's
I've
funny,
seen him
even though
do
you
it
know
this
it's
one
funny.
time, and it was funny to me.
There's nothing funny. What's funny about dropping the N-word? Can you tell me what's funny about that? What
I
is
mean,
funny about that? That word has been used to dehumanize people.
here's
What
why I
is
think it's
funny?
funny. Because racism is stupid. I agree with you there.
It's not funny, sir. It's not funny at all. At all. It's not funny.
No, racism.
No, racism is not funny. That behavior is not funny. None of it is funny. The only reason you think it's funny is because you don't have to deal with it. If you had to deal with it, you would not think it was funny. If it was your children, you would not think it was funny. If it was your parents, you would not think it was funny.
Grammy, excuse me, can I speak real quick? Are
That's
you
going to be
okay?
up to the host.
Okay. Host, can I speak real quick?
You introduce yourself first, so just give us
Yes,
your age,
my
race,
name
and
is
pronouns.
Jackson, and I'm 23, and my pronouns are he/him.
Get ready.
Okay, for what? Anyways, on the topic of racism, maybe we wouldn't be so racist if, like, maybe if we wouldn't be so racist if the niggers stopped committing so many fucking crimes. Like,
Here it is.
yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
poor
well, the
baby. Do
niggers
you
commit so much crimes, we kind of have to be racist, don't you
Are
think?
you
Like,
guys in the comments going to report him the
yeah,
way you've been
report me.
reporting me for
Report me.
standing up
Kill
for
the
people?
niggers. Kill the niggers.
Okay,
They
As if
commit
that's
so
white
much
people
fucking
don't
now.
commit
crime.
war crimes every
Block me.
day.
Wait a minute. Don't interrupt, because then you'll get taken down too, right? It's one thing if I don't want you to get taken down too. Let them hear. Let TikTok hear. That was him. That was none of us. TikTok, that was that man. That was not us. We did not do that. We did not say those words. So when they report us, please make sure that you give us our accounts back, because that was him. None of us said anything to him. He asked if he could speak. He was told he could speak politely, and he started to speak, and then he dropped N-bombs. Okay, that was him, TikTok. That wasn't us. So everybody, please go to his profile. Do not do it from inside this live. Go directly to his profile and report it.
My thing is when these type of, like, MAGA Republicans or whatever, whenever they disagree with you, they just go straight to insulting. No one here has been disrespectful to anyone. They are the ones who come in and bringing up this negative energy. For what reason? Like, if you really believe Trump is a great president and all this stuff, then let's debate about it. Why do you have to go straight to insulting? I don't understand.
Fragility. It's white fragility. That's what
It's
it is.
just crazy
TikTok
how
is
they.
educational only. This is strictly educational. They asked a question. I'm answering it for them. A lot of times it is projection. A lot of times it is their own insecurities. They're scared that the things that they do when black people and other people of color come into their neighborhoods, they're scared that's what's going to start happening to them, because they know how they behave and they know how they treat people. They are projecting. This is their insecurities. This is emotional white man behavior. TikTok, that's strictly educational only TikTok, not intended to bully or harass. Tap the screens, share your live.
Yeah, I wouldn't let Warbirds up because that seems like a troll. But to like people in the comments being like, y'all do the same thing, I invite you to go watch a MAGA live. They will be dropping every slur and exclusion in the book, and nobody bothers to harass them. Nobody bothers to get up on a fake account and say a bunch of stuff that might offend the YT people in that room. That never happens in YT spaces. It is literally always YT people and their children getting on fake accounts, coming into black spaces saying slurs, because that's how y'all raise your kids to act.
Goes right back to the fact that parents that do not, and this is educational TikTok, and this is strictly from a textbook. It's a quote from a textbook. Parents that do not teach their children or parents who teach their children to be colorblind or to not see color are neglectful. They're not preparing their kids for reality. They're not preparing their kids for society. It's neglect. Educational purposes only TikTok. Hashtag
Host? Wait,
F1
sorry.
comment.
Host, I don't know if you saw, but the girl in the comments named Renee, she's commenting that she flagged the live and that we're saying misinformation. You may want to block her because I think she's reporting the live, trying to get it taken down.
Done.
Done. You're not so fragile, then why do you guys report the live? If you're able to have these conversations and get up here like adults and talk about it, then you wouldn't be fragile. But the fact that you can't do that and that you guys have to report the live because it makes you uncomfortable to think about having a black woman as a president is like beyond me. Maybe you should explore why it is you have that uncomfortable feeling. Maybe you should think about that a little bit. Maybe you should educate yourselves a little bit. Oh shit, let's go.
Is there anyone else in the request to come up? Or
Nope, there's no one in the request. I think they're all scared.
oh,
Man, I came with sources and was doing, getting links ready to use and pass out. And I guess I shouldn't have bothered because they're just going to come up and drop racisms.
It's
Well, they've
been
already called her colored on the news, so you know how it's going. You know how this is about to go.
Exactly. And the sources, honestly, are going to be right in the very first sources in my link tree. There's a couple of them that talk about the misogynoir, which is the racism along with the sexism that we're going to get really hit in the face with coming now, with Kamala running for president. And so it's sources for us as well to use to kind of familiarize ourselves, especially the white tea community, to begin to familiarize ourselves with exactly what sorts of things they're going to try and pop off with against her so we can begin to stand against them.
I'm gonna swap phones. I'll be right back.
somebody said RFK for president. And honestly, before, a couple months ago, I was honestly considering voting third party. But I feel like now we're at the point where if you do not vote for, if you're not voting for Kamala, it's a vote for Trump, no matter who you vote for. Even if you're not voting for Trump, it's taking away the votes that could go to Kamala. And let's be for real, at this late in the election period, there's no way a third party is just going to come and swoop and win the election. And I am for a third party candidate, but I just do not think it's going to happen this election year. So I think we need to start, like, people who are trying to run third party, you need to start advocating now for the next election of 4 years. So
But
we don't
isn't
always have to choose.
RFK splitting the Trump vote? Because he's like Republican too, right? Or like right leaning, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's either right leaning or independent, but I'm pretty sure he's more right leaning. Pretty sure.
So they need to look. This should be the year that I feel like if they want to win, and I'm just kind of involved because I'm like, oh, this is fun, this is cute. But if they want to win, I think that let this not be the year where we made the mistake of labeling people that want to do third party on the left as bad people or attacking them like we did with the Bernie situation, right? Because then after that, those people felt like they couldn't come back and vote for Hillary because they had been attacked so much. And so while they have a viable third party person that's splitting their vote over there, let them do that this year and let us leave people that do have raised concerns about Kamala or do say that they're voting third party, but they're left. I hope we can have like a softer space, I guess, with them this year.
Yeah. Like I understand where they're coming from because, neither of the candidates are perfect people. There's other people that I think would personally make a better candidate, but this is what we have right now. And it's just like, we're going to have to stick with what we have. There's never going to be a perfect politician. So, Kamala's just what we have right now. And I'm going to push for her because I believe she's better than Trump morally and that she will help the country.
Yeah, me too.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna introduce. We have a few new guests. Sunset.
Hello.
All right, give us your thoughts on the background.
Down with the patriarchy. I don't know. I'm RFK all day, man.
Of course.
You know that. And
What
I think he's
policies
more
do you
left.
like?
I think he's more left leaning. But I
What
don't know. He's
policies do you like that he's advocated for?
I like that he's going to pardon Edward Snowden the first day. I like that he's going to say the FDA, drug manufacturers can't advertise commercials on TV. We're one of the two countries that do that. What else? Turning prisons into learning recovery farms. That sounds awesome.
What do you think about his conspiracy theories when it comes to vaccines?
Okay, well, I think I've literally watched the pharmaceutical community sell oxys with immunity for 20 years. So after they get away with that, I'm not trying to believe anything they say. So I think he's absolutely right. More testing, more research, more science.
So he believes in conspiracy theories with no scientific backing, and you're comfortable with that?
No, he believes in medical choice and doing more research to make sure the science is found. He's one of the only candidates, actually the only candidates that sued the corporations and forced them to pay victims over $1 billion. I don't think either other candidate can say anywhere near that.
Yeah, so kind of like Righteous in the comments said, learning recovery farms. We know what that means. That's internment camps.
No, it's basically instead of locking people up for drug charges, he's going to send them to rehab.
She's the only one that ever sued corporations, but Kamala actually, while she was Attorney General, attained a $1.1 billion judgment against defunct colleges that had stolen from people, and they had to pay that back to those individuals. So no, he's not the only one who's sued corporations and gotten people money back.
That's awesome. Well, maybe she's better than Trump. I don't know. I'm going down with the shit, man. RFK all day. Got plenty of time for something to happen to Trump. RFK beats everybody one-on-one in every poll.
I mean, you can look at the polls right now. He's not leading whatsoever.
Right. So again, I'm saying I'm praying for Trump downfall. So it's one-on-one. Trump, Harris one-on-one.
Point. There's no way that anybody but Kamala is going to win. At this point, nobody but Kamala is going to win, because there's all of the people that voted for Obama. There's all
Trump's
the new
gonna win.
voters. There's all the young people. There's no way. No, he's not. I know you guys are on a hope and a prayer, but you Post-it note people do not have a chance. He's not going to win, and y'all look silly with Post-it notes on the side.
Sunset, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So you said you're hoping and praying that something's gonna happen to Trump, so like RFK can kind of take his spot or take over. So what happens on election day when Trump is still alive and well and still the Republican nominee? Are you gonna vote for
It's just like that. Yes.
Oh, come on, Rusty. Can't you do better? TikTok, everybody go report that account. Go to their account and report them quickly. They're trying to get the live taken down is what they're trying to do. So TikTok, just so you know, that was that guy's account. That wasn't us. I believe his name was Rusty something or another. Probably, well, I won't even say that. But anyway, that was him that did that. That was his account that did that. That was not us, TikTok. F1's in the chat. Hashtag TikTok shop, and everybody tap, tap, tap. It's not going to work, guys. It's just not going to work.
So Sunset, did you hear my question?
Yeah, no, I'm still gonna vote for him.
So you're still gonna vote for RFK?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, even though Kamala and Trump are the main two people who are gonna win, like he's not even like RFK's not even going to like lead in the polls whatsoever.
Hell yeah, I gotta vote what
Yes,
I
please
believe.
vote for him because that will help out Kamala.
Okay.
Please do.
All right.
Okay. Just
I
wanted to, I
appreciate
was just curious.
it. Hell yeah, we can't jump ship. That's the one I'm on.
All right. Witchy.
Hi, y'all.
Hi. What are your thoughts?
Well, I just have a small comment for all the right wingers and all of the doubting Democrats and whatnot. I think we should stop getting on a first name basis with candidate Harris because she's going to be president. If supporters want to call her by if supporters want to call her by her first name, I sort of understand it. But any opposition, put some respect on that name. I don't care if you're like left, right, or center. If you don't think that Harris should be president, then you absolutely should not be calling her by her first name. And because like listening to Donnie and Joey and whatever Jimmy Dean's first name is, like let's be serious. We call it Vance and Trump and Biden, but we call Harris Kamala. It's giving real misogynoir nonsense, is all I'm saying. All of a sudden you're on a first name basis with a presidential candidate. Like that seems pretty inappropriate.
Thank you for that. I really actually greatly appreciate that.
Right. Dylan, I know that you disagree.
Yeah, I think people just say Kamala because it's like kind of like a unique name. Like Donald, like you could I feel like there's a lot of people named Donald.
It's disrespectful as an opposition, you should call her judge, maybe even.
Why judge?
I just think you have to recognize that the lack of respect that you take on for a woman as accomplished as Kamala Harris by referring to her by her first name, you just don't realize how condescending and ridiculous that behavior is. Like, would you call her that if you came to her house? Right? Like, I just want to talk basic respect, right? Like, I don't think it is justified for people that oppose her position or oppose her in any way to be on a first name basis with her. It's disrespectful.
And I respect you for saying that. I do want to say she said she doesn't care if people call her Kamala. She's cool with it. Like,
Okay. I mean, get it right at least then.
right. Yeah, because there is a lot of people mispronouncing it, and that needs to also be pointed out.
And again, it's just my Gen X business, but like, she is not some laughable old lady that is beyond her capability. She is also not some kid, right? Like, she is a fully grown, like, powerhouse of a person, like deeply entrenched in our
How old is she?
political system. 57? I actually don't know.
I think she's 59.
So she's not much older than.
I'm just saying she's not old. She's not out of it old, and she's not a young person. So, like, stop treating her like it's appropriate for you to talk to her out on her name.
Her and I are born the same year, 64, where she's 60.
Yeah, they try to make it seem like her laugh is so ridiculous and she's so silly. And some of us just have a big laugh. Like,
Yeah.
it's not a big deal.
They use the fact that she laughs a lot against her, but I wish someone would go and make a compilation of all the times Trump has laughed and pushed that out there, because I can recall Trump laughing so many times. He's like, why is laughing something we're using against her? Like, what?
Bothers them because she is so comfortable in herself. She knows who she is. She's comfortable in that. She's comfortable with her laugh. She's comfortable with the fact she's a woman. She's comfortable, and they don't like that. They don't like that. They don't like the confidence. They don't like it. It makes them insecure. Specifically white men. It makes them very, very, very insecure. Look at how they behave up here on this panel to the confident women on this panel. Like, we see it every single night. And it is simply educational TikTok, strictly educational. It is nothing more than their insecurities.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Like, I just, like, the lack of respect. Like, and I don't even, I'm no Democrat, right? I'm pretty far left. I think she's still part of a really, really bad system. But I just don't understand the, like, blatant disrespect all these couch right-wingers have. Just, like, it's giving incel behavior. Like, it's giving can't handle your own relationships with women in your own life, so you have to infantilize and be familiar and vulgar about, like, an incredibly powerful political figure. Like, it is wild behavior.
Dylan, could I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Who are you voting for?
Nobody. But if I was gonna vote, I would vote RFK.
Why are you not voting?
Because I don't want to have be on another list where they're gonna pull me for jury duty.
So you're not registered to vote?
No.
Are you signed up? Did you sign up for selective service?
Actually, I think I did. Yeah.
Okay. How old are you again?
I am 24, gonna be 25 in 2 days.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Dylan, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I guess, I mean, I can just say why I like RFK. I just like him because of some of his policies, like, for example, like his Bitcoin policy. Like, I used to mine cryptocurrency. So I have quite a bit of Bitcoin, and just like his policies on that would just make it value more. And honestly, I think he's really funny. Like, just the way he
Funny?
talks. Yes.
Yes,
Uh,
he is. He is
Could I
fine.
say something? Hi everyone. Thanks for letting me come on. Why are we talking to people that don't even vote? This is a serious election, and I was gonna say that when I appreciate what you said about Kamala, we should say VP Kamala or VP Harris. You're right. We should, especially now she's running for president. Everyone should give her some respect and everything like that. And I don't understand why everyone doesn't have a distinct person that they're voting for at this part in the game. It's less than 100 days. Are we down to less than 100 days, or are we at 100 days, or what is it? And we need to pick who you need to have a person. I don't care who you pick, but it's got to be at least between Trump and VP Harris. At this point. So I mean, and don't bring up all those third party people and whatever. That's nonsense. Some of them only had 1% of the thing. Why would you even bring them up? That's like not voting at all. They can't win the election. And people that are not voting,
Why is voting your conscience nonsense, JK?
it's
That's
not
the
voting.
American way.
But wait a minute, right now. But that's like throwing away your vote. You're taking a vote away from some. At this point, that's just throwing away a vote. You're taking a
So
vote
that's
away
not my
from.
That's not my freedom to do that the country and the Constitution entails. I don't have
Yeah,
freedom
but you
to
should
do
want
that.
to. But wait a minute. but the vote is a very powerful thing. It constitutionally, it's a very powerful thing. It's a tool that we use to do what we need to do to get the right people in office to do the right things for the entire country. It's not a joke. It's not something that you just throw away. It's very serious, and not voting is very serious, and voting for just any old fool is very serious. You need to vote for someone who thinks you think can do the job and do the job well for everyone. That's what you're supposed to be doing with your vote. Your vote is very serious. We take it very serious.
That's so do I. That's why I'm voting for RFK.
Yeah,
I'm
but
doing exactly what he said.
RFK is not taking it serious. His family doesn't even want. His family is from a long line of politicians. They don't want. They don't even like him. They're telling everybody not to vote for him. They're telling you this man has serious mental issues. This man has problems. They're telling you. They're begging you not to vote for him, and you're trying to vote for him. He's just silly. Something's wrong with him. They've told you
All
not
right,
to
so
do
you've
it.
never done
You're not
something.
even doing the research on your candidate. Your candidate has problems. Everybody's worrying about talking about Joe Biden has Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and all that, but RFK really has mental problems.
Is that
But he has some
true,
kind of
Sunset?
problem. He has some kind of medical problem with his brain. He has something. They said he has some kind of something in his brain. What are you trying to vote for somebody like that for?
Yeah,
Wow, so
that got fixed
Sunset.
up in 10 years ago.
So
That got fixed
Sunset,
up
is
10
that
years
true? You
ago.
knew about that and you're still gonna vote for him? You knew that,
Yeah,
Sunset?
the man admitted it. Yes, he was helping a third world country. He got a parasite that was in his brain and died there, and he had to get it removed. So while doing it on the other side of the world, and he had a consequence, he freely admitted it 10 years ago. How does he sleep at night running for president? Wow. What a terrible guy. You're absolutely right.
How do you feel about him being a felon twice over?
They don't care about that. Are you
I'm a
kidding?
felon.
No,
I'm
none
a
of them
felon
care about
myself.
that.
Hell yeah. Totally
Look
support
what they
that.
let old Tony get away
Totally
with.
support that.
So you can't vote either, right?
I absolutely can.
You can.
Why he's up here flapping his gums.
As a felon, you can
Absolutely can.
vote. Okay.
Yes.
Depends on the
Your own
state. It does
government.
depend
Your
on the
own
state.
government doesn't care. Why do you?
Oh my God. I'll just mute you because you're going to talk over me. It depends on the state, and it depends on if they have finished their sentence, if they're off parole. As long as they've done all of their stuff that they're supposed to do, if their state says, then they can vote. But that's state by state.
Thank you, Grammy. Thank you.
I know in most states there's a push, especially in Texas and Florida, to help felons who don't have the right to vote, show and prove that they should be allowed to, and then, work on getting that right to vote back. So I was just curious if you had been
Right.
through that process, and could enlighten, others.
You're breaking up, buddy. You're breaking up big time. The Lord said no today.
The one in Florida, they did almost get it got the law passed, but I think DeSantis vetoed it or something. He stopped it somehow.
So is Trump gonna do something to help out his friends that cannot vote?
No, Republicans don't really want people like that voting because they like, especially when they gerrymander and do all that type of stuff. But the thing is, like DeSantis, he probably didn't want the people in his state to vote because they were probably going to vote Democrat. So he didn't want to have them vote. So that's why he really vetoed that whole thing.
Well, if they give prisoners the right to vote while they're in jail, then they're going to vote to fix things that are wrong with the jails. And they don't want that. They're going to go vote for people who are going to try to fix things. And they don't want that. They want the jails and the prisons to run exactly as they are.
Right. I see, Witchy, I see that you had your hand up. Did you want to add something? Witchy?
Yeah, hi. I just like we don't have a functioning democracy is the only concern I have about like this train of the conversation, this part of the train. Like I am not going to say that having a third party candidate isn't a lost vote because I sort of think that gets swallowed in the nonsense that we have. I am more I think we need a vote of no confidence, because like even in a really good turnout election, it's like 60% of people who can vote do. So I would advocate for like a no confidence third because that's what we would get every single election season is a third of people would be voting essentially no. And then when it comes to like the blue versus red situation, I still don't think we live in a democracy that's effective and is representative. I'm really quite concerned that the amount of like gerrymandering and like voter suppression that's going to happen in November is going to be on a historic level. I am very concerned that the amount of voter intimidation is going to be incredibly high. I think that we have a real problem with polling places as a nation, and that is pretty concerning. Like, I definitely think Harris is still going to win because I think enough people will go into the privacy of their booth and be like, do I want these disgusting right wing nutbags? No, I guess not. So I still think Harris is going to win, but I am concerned that people have this like inflated impression of how good our democracy functions.
Can I clarify something? I didn't mean to say that. I don't care if we have 10 parties, but I'm just saying 100 days from the election, and as important as this election is, and you look at the just look at the polls, and you see that all those other candidates are getting like 1%, 1%, and it's like between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, they're getting like 49 and 50% of 48 and 49 or whatever it is, and the other ones are splitting 1% and 2%. There's no way that's over. That's done. So don't waste your time. It's just done. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. That candidate there's no way that candidate can win. So just that's what I was trying to make a point. Don't and normally I'm not saying that, but the third party people got to work a little harder between elections if they want to get up a little higher than that.
I
I hear you. Right.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say agree with JK. Like I was saying earlier, like I don't think there's anything wrong with party candidates, but when it's this close to the election, it's pretty evident that whoever wins the presidency is going to be Republican or Democrat, and it's just pretty evident here. But I think if people want a third party uh, candidate to be president in the next election, they need to start advocating for that now because not enough people know too much about third party candidates. So I think whoever's trying to run for the next election needs to start campaigning now to get their name out there, to get their mission and get their message out to people so they could possibly have a chance.
Right.
Okay, but with that rationale, right? If a Democrat or a Republican is going to be president no matter what, then why is a third party vote throwing away your vote?
It's throwing away. I mean, I'm talking specifically for this election. It's throwing away your vote because you can see you can see based off the polls that it's either going to be Trump or Kamala. It's pretty clear. But I'm saying for the next election, like in 4 years, if someone starts campaigning now and gets their name out there and enough people hear about them and enough people want to vote for them, then it's possible. So it's for this election, it would be throwing away your vote just because of how close it is. It's either going to be a Republican or a Democrat because it's just too late in the election to start like saying, oh, I'm going to vote third party. But for the next election, I feel like if you campaign hard enough and get your message out there, it won't be throwing away your vote if enough people want to vote for this person.
Exactly.
Can I just say two things though? When Hillary and Trump was running, when they were going at it, the polls were crystal clear that Hillary was going to win. When Ross Perot was running, they did an exit poll. 40% of people would have voted for Ross Perot if they thought he had a chance. Third parties having no chance is an idea that they spent billions of dollars putting in your head. The Republicans and the Democrats put billions of dollars to make you think that. That's not true.
Well,
if we all voted for
Hillary
Kennedy,
won the
he'd
popular
win.
vote.
Hillary did
Hillary
win the
won the
popular
popular
vote.
vote. She didn't win the electoral college vote, but she did win the popular vote.
Yeah, she won the
for
popular
2016.
vote.
Wait,
So
hang
Right,
on a
but
second.
those
Everyone,
polls
hang
take
on a
into
second.
consideration of that.
Sunset, hang on a second. Dylan, I'm gonna swap you out. You can request back.
Ah, thanks, fam.
All right, Des.
Hey,
Do you
fam.
wanna, hey.
Look at you doing things I'm politicking.
I know, right? Do you want to give us your age, race, and pronouns?
My age, I just turned 42 a couple days ago, actually.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Age, race, I am black. And pronouns, he, him.
All right, thank you.
He's Des.
Give us your thoughts on the conversation.
My thoughts on the conversation is it's complicated, right? As always, because the irony is that I do believe that idea is a defeatist idea that has been intentionally pumped into our brains so that we don't actually do what we want or manipulated into continuing into the binary that they want us to choose from, because that's easily manipulatable, right? That's the point. Right. So it's like if people would actually do away with all of the bullshit and genuinely just vote whom they believe should be there, that actually is the power of the people in this system. They've just hamstringed it so bad that it's designed so that people don't see their power. Because the reality is that people are the power, right? And that's why they actually have spent trillions of dollars pumping these ideas into our heads. That are actually a side effect of enslavement. So that's awkward. But because also when it comes down, because the pattern that's being said there is the same as pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You just have to work hard enough. And it's actually part of victim blaming, because it's putting those that are surviving the system and suffering from it and putting the responsibility to change it on them. And that's not logical, unfortunately. But what we can do is, what I think that would be healthy for the people to do is actually just pick their own person. And they would need to just pick their own person long in advance and then have it go that way instead of the other way around. Because that's part of how this oppressive system, now we're at government, the government being an oppressive system, is how they control and manipulate the masses. And as part of conditioning, thinking that we're free while simultaneously keeping us enslaved, so we do what they want, the way they want. So that's my thought. But I do think Harris will win just because of the way it all is going at this time. And I do think she'll be wildly better than Shitstain, but I just think it's going to maintain the status quo that has already been. I actually don't think it's going to change things. She's not going to close down the military, for example. She's going to pump these things up. It's actually a reverse psychology to get us to reinvest in these systems that oppress us. So like it's good and it's bad, kind of. It's because both of them are two sides of the same coin that keep us enslaved, right? And one is just overt and covert, same like North and South, when we're, I think, as a people realizing that there actually isn't a difference. The only difference, and this is my favorite, I didn't coin this part of this phrase, but the only difference, for example, between North and South is the North wants black people to kill themselves and the South wants to kill black people, right? That's the only difference. And so it's just about the psychology of how we are broken down and erased versus people forcibly trying to erase us, and the dichotomy that they continuously wield of shit around that. That's my thought.
Yeah, I'm excited to see her smash Trump into bits and pieces.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun to watch, and it's already pretty fun to watch how much better she is at campaigning than him. But again, like, I think we're not allowed to say no, guys, and that should tell us something. Like, we live in a country where no is not one of the options.
But wasn't anybody saying this when like Biden was running? That's just my thing, is like every time a woman is running, now everybody's like, yeah, we really wish third party could get in. But like,
No, that's
well,
been
when
happening for decades.
Biden was like 81 when he got the nomination. Nobody was like, dang, let's get this third party in. It's hard to believe Kamala's going to win so easily, as you guys are saying, when so many people harbor so much latent bias against women, against black people, that just makes them constantly say, well, and hold to like these unfair standards that they're not holding everybody else. These third party candidates that you guys speak of have not been put to the test. They have not been in big, situations where they have to navigate expectations much larger than them. So to sit there and put, like, I don't get how people put these candidates on a pedestal when they're not even nearly as credentialed or have been put to the same test as these other people.
There are plenty of other third-party candidates that are, but I actually don't like any of it. My point is the whole system is shit, and third-party candidates are a conversation for at least the last 20 years, because I've seen those conversations, and it happens every time, because what happens is they always put up an entitled old rich white man who doesn't know shit about shit, right? And something of a slight variant of that on the other side, the lesser of two evils always. And so I think Kamala's going to win because she's already been running circles around him, but primarily not because of who she is, but because of who Trump is. And enough people hate him now, and the only ones that continue to like him are the bigots that are in his cult. So like Kamala's already raised at least, I want to say $20 million was the last thing I looked at. But she raised like 8 million just the other night on a phone call with 200,000 people, white women to be exact. So it's like there's a lot going her way, not just because of who she is, because she is overly qualified for the position, but because Trump is woefully inept, and more people are seeing that now, especially as a felon. And the only ones that remain are the cultists. But I think the whole system is trash, and that regardless of wanting to put Camilla or whoever is in right now, I think that we as people need to come together and actually like write a whole new fucking charter, because we don't have to actually like pew the other side in order to change the system. We actually need to sacrifice comfort so that we can transition to something else that we create and just walk away to it. Now, they will retaliate when we do that and be ready to do that, but it's not how we have to come out swinging. That's my thought anyway.
Well, did you see Bill Gates' wife gave her 52 million the other day?
That's what I said. I didn't even know all that. Like, see, like she like
and
she got the
Netflix
money,
gave her 7 million. Netflix gave her 7 million.
Boom. Yeah.
And what was another one? I forgot. It was a lot. She's getting, like you said, she's getting a lot of big ones coming in too, as well as the small money donations from just just everybody that just wants to give $5 or $10 or whatever, and through ActBlue or something like that.
And they're all
Yeah.
And they're all doing it because she is in with corporate America. And
Right.
and Trump sucks. He's a terrible business person. Like, it's wild that
Right.
the narrative stuck. It's just because people are
Yeah.
ignorant. But he's terrible. He's had bankruptcy at least
He
6
is.
times.
He
You know,
is.
so
He is. And but to get back to the just to way say one last thing about the third party. The third party people that we have right now are horrible. They're not even worth even. I wouldn't even let them.
facts.
I wouldn't even let them watch my dog or nothing. You know, what I mean, they're just horrible. They're just horrible. They're not even nothing to consider. Anybody wasting time with them don't even know anything. Don't care anything about the country. I don't care what nobody says about that. I don't care what anybody thinks about that. I know what I'm talking about. They're the worst. They're the worst of the worst. They're just terrible. You're not even. You're so low, so misinformed, have no understanding of the concepts of anything to even think about that. And to get and Des to say about the country, we just got to stabilize things first, get things together first before we get to the point where, like you said, start making a change like you were talking about. I mean, we have to get this place back because Trump had it all so off course. We have to get ourselves back on course, get it stabilized. Then we have to see about trying to make a change. We have to get these people out of office that are wacky, that are from that old school of all this nonsense that was going on. We have to we have to clean house. We have to get rid of all those kind of people. Like I said, stabilize, clean up, and then start to try to make something for the future. That's what we have to do now. And if this election doesn't make people stand up and want to do that, I don't know what's going to make you do it.
Facts.
Player in the comments. Oh, I'll go bankrupt. They love his white mediocrity. They love that Trump went bankrupt. They love that his vocabulary threshold is so low and he's still rich. They know what it is and they wish that it was happening for them.
Facts. That's true.
Well, they identify with him, which is the uncomfortable part. And this is the really awkward part, right? Because Trump is an abusive narcissist, right? And he enjoys taking advantage of people and he prides himself in it. That's why the only thing he's good at is good at being a rich white man. And he's actually not good at being rich, by the way. That's why he's been a pretender for so long and why he's actually not welcomed into elite society. And he thought that being president would change that. Of course, his ambition was to be the dictator of America. That's why he likes Putin and Kim Jong-un and admires all of their things, because that's what he aspires to. So any of you guys that don't see the overt, like, mental breakdown of Trump are sadly and likely conditioned with narcissistic abusive behavior. And I actually think that is actually, I don't think, I know that is why Trump has such a big following, is because he taps into the abuse and those that are conditioned with abuse and accept it. And here we are, right? Because that's what manipulators do. So Trump is one of the biggest pieces of shit that ever existed. You know, don't get me wrong. King Leopold does take the cake on that one, but he aspires to be King Leopold. That's the problem. Trump aspires to be King Leopold. So those of you that agree with him, like him, reach for him, you're just trying to be the best colonizer out there, which is also comes back to what KJ was saying of why all the third party candidates also suck. Because that whole game, that whole system, that whole thing is just trying to be the best colonizer of the day.
Right. What's with that? What is with that?
That's the system. When you try to lead the system that is designed to exploit and colonize, you become the best one out there. Like not for nothing, Jasmine Sherman is literally Trump in a black body. I'll just put it that way, right? It's wild. And so, and then honestly, a couple of other ones I have met too, they literally are trying to just appropriate different personas.
Who is that now?
Same shit.
Who is that now? I'm sorry.
Oh, Jasmine Sherman is a third-party candidate. Please don't vote for them.
I was really disappointed.
Please don't vote for them.
I was
They're
really
awful.
disappointed in Jasmine. I wanted to like her,
Me
but
too.
when she
I was
started
actually on
saying
the
certain things, and
Yes.
she was accusing like any person who asked her of any question of attacking her, of harassing her. It was crazy.
No, yeah, they are not. They need to be in therapy. They don't need to be running for president. I was actually on their VP ticket for a grand total of 3 weeks. because they thought that I could be their token indigenous person. And that is not who I am. They don't, they're just trying to do the colonizer game better than the colonizer and change a couple of things here and there and just to kind of do smoke and mirrors, right? Because that's where all the buzzwords come in, to tapping into trends and stuff. So, but yeah, narcissists, yes, they are.
That's what Cornell was disappointing me with that doing that, because I'm like, what the heck happened to him? He had a nervous breakdown or something. There's something wrong with him, and he was somebody I admired so much, and then he started doing this, and I was like, what's going on with him? He did something's off, because back when he was criticizing Obama, and don't get me wrong, everybody can be criticized, but he wasn't criticizing him about the right things. You know what I mean? And it was very off, and it was something really strange about it. And then he started getting stranger and stranger and stranger to me. You know what I mean? And the nerve that he's trying to run for president, it was like, you're not. I said, he's a very intelligent man and everything like that, but he's not capable on that level. He's not that kind of capable.
Yeah. See, and this is the thing, like, it aggravates the ever-loving piss out of me because literally all the positions should be is like a glorified clerk, right? Because that's all government should be, is just logistics and management to actually help support the people, its citizens, smoothly and safely. And right now the system is not designed to do that. That is what I was taught when I went to school to do international relations. That's what a nation is supposed to provide, is safety and security. And as a person of color, I laughed very heartily at that. I'm an Afro-Indigenous person, everybody. So it's wild to me that just the hoodwink that we live in, and the gaslit shit that we exist in. And so I do believe that the way to break it is for us to face it, acknowledge it, and then in reality create what we want and just start living it. And honestly, the best thing is everyone just start living what you believe is right, to be really honest. And it's the hardest for us, particularly those of us that are Black, because of the system that is shit. But the more of us that come together and make our own world and do that, that way we have what we want when all this shit collapses. Because it's due in the next 5 to 10 years. Because the facade only lasts so long, But historically, that's about how often it cycles, is every 250 to 300 years.
Yeah, I can see that. Somebody said Trump is going to win due to RFK. I honestly think RFK is pulling from Trump's voters, to be honest. Everybody that's Kamala is really Team Kamala right now. But you hear a lot of people over on the Trump camp kind of wavering, being like, Trump or RFK, Trump or RFK.
Right,
Yeah,
Sunset. I see that you're back.
Yeah, how you doing? That's awesome. You was the VP, man. That's awesome.
No, it sucked
And you didn't
ass.
sell your soul, man. I wish you great things. That's awesome.
No, but thanks. But it was actually a really shitty experience, unfortunately, because it was just getting used and manipulated, which is, what the system is. But I thought they were
Exactly.
different, and they are not. Well, they claim to
But
be
you
different,
didn't
and
fall
they learn
for
to
it.
be
You didn't
different.
fall for it. That's
Well, yeah.
that's
I
what's
mean,
great.
liars lie. So yeah.
I love
But
you,
yeah.
Des.
Sorry, Des.
Just so you know.
12,000 likes. 12,000 likes.
And then I was gonna say, like, I think the everything bubble is like 2.5 years out. And like when it comes to like how our system is going, like we've been a zombie economy for 70 years. And
That's all.
like, and it's not getting better.
Well, I would argue that the zombie economy has been since always, because the economy runs on us being zombies. That's my take.
I totally agree, Des. I just meant that like we haven't gone the right direction in our economy since like 50, 7 or some shit.
What do you mean, like make profit? You mean?
Right. Well, we keep crashing
Yeah.
and it gets shorter and shorter. It used to be every 20 years, and then it was every 12 years, and then it was every 10 years.
Right. But
And then it
that's
was every 8 years. It's not alive. It's only
right.
a zombie.
But that's my point, is that it has always been that way because that is the nature of an exploitative system. And the longer that you push and try to make it as if it's okay when it is very clearly not, and the longer you let it run, the more it's going to fizzle out. It's the same with psychology, right? The same with human burnout, right? It used to be you'd have your midlife crisis like in your 50s and then your 40s and your 30s, and kids are literally starting to have air quotes midlife crises in their teens. And that's because we're ignoring the psychological impact of an exploitative system, which is just a giant death machine.
Right. Avoiding the real symptoms.
Yeah, the core, the root of it, like the warp core, right, is just exploiting people. And so when that's what it is, when you start to run out of people to exploit, it's always going to collapse. But also when you're doing that, it's lopsided, right? It's not a balanced thing that you're going forward with. So those imbalances are going to continuously expose. They just didn't count on them also having like physiological repercussions, like the impact on one's health, both mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Sorry, I'm getting more ranty these days because like I just have so little patience for the fuck shit. And just
No, I think we're all there.
right.
Honestly,
I'm so
I think
glad.
a lot of us are. I've already been banned twice in the last what? I was banned in the twice in the first 20 minutes of this live because of TikTok. This is strictly educational purposes only, but because of emotional white men, most likely reporting me.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's okay. So to everyone that doesn't know me very well, I'm also autistic, right? And so I'm also some would say a dandelion kid, a over 10-point ace, Me Too survivor, all that bullshit, right? And it's like when you finally start to see how all of it is connected, then it's really hard to function in what you know is actively harming you and people you care about, and what you actually like believe matters, which is like life. I just believe like life, and all these beautiful forms of expressions of life are what we are, and none are actually more valuable or more important. We're all essential to understanding, right? And so it is corny and cheesy as it sounds. I don't even give flying fucks, right? It's literally about us coming together and accepting each other, like as who we are, and stop using these imaginary excuses to push someone away because of having to confront then your own identity crisis, but then our own parts in these systems, right? It's hard to see how we've been, whatever the circumstance, most of us here are probably forced to participate in some fashion, right? Acknowledging that because the ramifications are still real. It still had an impact. It still does the harm. And so, like, we have to face that, but the only way we can change it is if we face it so that we stop doing it. And because they're not going to stop. Because abusers never stop abusing. Never. Yeah.
Grammy, you're muted.
Yeah, Grammy, you can say the things.
I know. You guys knew what I was saying anyway. They never stop. They literally don't stop.
Yeah. So like trying to like, this is the thing. So this is how I see it, right? Is like the government is still the abusive relationship that we have, right? And honestly, voting is still participating, trying to convince your abuser to like do the right thing. And that's why it never works. Because you can't convince them to do the right thing. They're not going to do the right thing. And at best, what they're doing is corrupting people that go in with good intentions. But if you're not willing to totally fuck that system, then you're not going to get anywhere. Like, because what I was going to do, being on that VP ticket and going in, I was going to not do the normal thing because they expect VPs to do nothing. I was then going to do, honestly, just about everything. I was going to make so many bills, they would be pissed. And I was going to have them ready before I even got into office, because it would be setting term limits, age limits, stopping funds that you're getting after you retire. If you're no longer in the office, you're not getting paid anymore. You don't have a free ride anymore. I was literally going to make it so that it is literally you're a glorified clerk. And at best, this is going to be a career booster launch thing instead of a career as its entirety, right? And because you can actually make a system that is about caring for people when that is the goal. But right now, we're still living a system where the goal was to exploit people to make money so that you could be a lazy fuck. And that is still what happens, right? Like, I have worked for Fortune 100 companies where I would help, and like I did IT, right? And what I did is I went into the chief tech officers, and he did not know how to work the fucking camera on his laptop for a video call. And I'm like, but why are you my boss's boss's boss if you don't know how to do this? Oh, right, because you're a legacy hire and you got this job because your daddy is friends with whoever it is, and you actually don't know how to do this job. But
That
you
good
get
old boy.
the good old boy club, and you get 6 figures while I'm over here barely not in poverty officially, but only so they don't have to give me any help in these programs that they say that just I need to get 3 jobs so that you can have your 6 figures, bro. It's wild, right? And so that's how the system was originally designed, and so that's what it keeps doing. And that's why they project it onto those of us that are in the positions that they loathe, right? They're the ones that actually require work, right? There's no such thing as unskilled labor.
Oh my God, not to be messy, but did y'all see what JD Vance said about his wife on Megyn Kelly? He said, obviously she's not a YT person, dot, dot, dot. But I love Usha. She's a Usha. I'm sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. Usha, or it's USHA. He said she's a great mother. After prefacing it with, obviously she's not white.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
Right. Fresh bread.
It's going.
It's good. Can you just give us your age, race, and pronouns?
38 white male. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the background?
Patriarchy worked for a really long time.
For who?
For everyone. It only is in the past 100 years, thanks to civilization.
For everyone? No. No, it didn't work for everyone.
Yeah, we all suffered. Everyone suffered in life.
Don't work for me.
Like I said, it's only in the past 100 years that, because of technology, that women could be freed from their biological deficiencies.
Excuse you?
Yeah.
Wow, man, you seem pretty deficient.
What are you talking about? I mean, like, it's a fact. I'm like a historian, so. And
I doubt it.
Because I had a train.
I also started my own software company. So yeah, I make over like $1 million.
He said that it's only in the last 100 years that women have been able to overcome their deficiencies.
What deficiency?
Biological.
Exactly.
Our deficiency?
What biological deficiency?
Well, obviously, in the 1400s, things were a little bit different. You didn't have indoor plumbing. You didn't have sanitary napkins. I mean, it was like a different world, right?
Do you know that people with penises were dying?
You're saying our period is a deficiency, is what you're saying.
Well, obviously, you couldn't go
us
out.
Getting us menstruating. Wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute. I'm trying to understand.
Don't go on a boat.
Oh my God. Okay.
You have a very small.
I'm trying hard to understand. Is that what he's referring to? I'll drop you. Be quiet, or I'll drop you.
Yeah.
Is that what he is saying? Is that our periods are a deficiency?
I'm saying it held you
Because
back through
I'm not
history.
asking you. I'm not asking you.
Calm down, lady.
Is that what I heard him? Is that what I'm understanding? Oh, forgot. Question in a second. If you're not going to stop,
Just
are you going to
relax.
stop? Because I'm not asking you. I'm asking the women on the panel. Oh God. Okay. Goodbye. Re-request in a second. Is that what he's trying to insinuate? Is that our periods are a deficiency?
Yeah. Yep. That's what I got out of it.
I'm trying to understand that because I would think, and you can re-request, sir. We'll let you, the host will let you right back up. That's not a problem. You can say your piece. I'm just trying to understand what you were saying because I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around that. Like, I would think the fact that we bleed for a week and don't die is a bonus and makes us super, super strong. And then when you take into account the fact that we are basically like fucking Power Rangers and can sync the fuck up, that means something. That's not a deficiency, sir. You guys are the ones that are deficient. You guys are the ones that can't have your emotions in check. You guys are the ones that can't carry on normal conversations. You guys are the ones that interrupt and act foolish on these lives. Like, that's a deficiency. Y'all's behavior is a deficiency. Women menstruating and our cycles syncing up makes us fucking superhuman, damn near. It's not a deficiency, sir.
Are you done yapping? Because most people yap when they're inferior.
Yapping? Oh,
It's to
so
cope with your
yapping is
inferiority.
Yapping, absolutely. And you can be as
It's
it's
cope.
okay, Jess. Hang on. We got a game going
It's
on
cope.
here. He can be
It's
as
cope.
disrespectful as you want.
It's cope.
Everybody
Shut
get
the
your
fuck
bingo
up.
cards out
Shut
because
the
he's
fuck
got.
up,
Wait a
you
minute,
stupid
Fresh Bread.
bitch.
Hang on.
Wow.
Well, you
Shut the
can
fuck up, you
re-request. Okay, if
stupid
you're not gonna let
bitch.
me talk, I'll have to drop
Shut
you.
the
Okay,
fuck up.
go ahead and re-request. Re-request, buddy. Re-request because we want to hear what you have to say. Everybody, this is the time. Get your bingo cards out. Mine is out. If you have a fragile man bingo card, get that one out. If you have the racist bingo card, get that one out. If you have the patriarchy bullshit bingo card, get that one out. Get your daubers, get your trinkets. TikTok, don't forget, TikTok gives the winner $100. So whoever gets that bingo first, let's play. Go ahead, bring him up.
If you have an abuser bingo card, that would also fill up right quick.
Double bingo for that.
Yes. Yeah, and the lotto. You get winning lotto numbers for that one. Because fresh bread, I'm just going to let
Go
fresh
ahead and
bread
call me.
know.
I'm
See,
waiting.
the thing
I'm
is
dying.
that you're
Let him explain his theory. Let him explain his theory.
Are you gonna stop chirping?
Let him explain his theory.
I'm actually fresh bread. Fresh bread.
Oh, okay. So fresh bread, I just think you should know that the fact that you dictate to people that they have an inferiority complex, right, that they're inferior to you, shows that you have a need to feel superior, which means that you're codependent on others to feel warm and fuzzy about yourself because you're insecure and fragile as fuck, which is why you're here, right? So what you should do is you really should, I know that you won't do any of these things, but you really should seek therapy so that you stop needing other people to feel good about yourself. Because as soon as you can start feeling good about who you are, the size of your dick, the receding hairline, like all of those things, once you can embrace that that's a factual part of your life, then you'll be able to move forward and maybe actually be able to do something about it instead of needing to pick on other people and feel strong, right? When you need to abuse others to feel good about yourself, right? That's because you are weak and you have to pick on those that you perceive to be weaker than you, to feel strong in your brain, right, in your imagination.
Are you done?
So it's really important. Yeah, so it's really important, fresh bread, for you to know that you're exhibiting how weak your mind is here, and the fact that you're manipulating and attempting to manipulate, that you're so triggered, right, by the fact that women are empowered, that women are important, and actually have a lot more, importance in life than you and your penis, right? That you're not needed, right? Go figure out your shit, right? The fact that you aren't needed by somebody else makes you feel weak, and that's sad.
Yes, I'm curious, isn't it?
Just so you know, I'm holding an LDE safe space. I hold an LDE, little D energy, safe space in the evenings. You would fit in perfectly with the rest of the guys. You should come by.
I want him. Let him explain it. Let him explain it. Let him explain it. I want him to explain it.
If I told you my body count, would you respect me?
Nobody gives a shit about your body count. I don't give a flying fuck.
You're washed up women. That's why you're so angry.
Explain your. I
You're
mean,
just
you
washed
don't
up
say your
useless
body.
women. You're
We
just
don't-
washed up useless women and angry at the world.
Wow.
You're useless.
You need to feel. You always need to like put people down.
You're do nothing. You're do nothing. Washed up women.
Do you always need to put people down to feel good?
13 years.
13 years. What?
Boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. I've been married for 30 years, sir. You don't know what you're talking about.
No,
you
you
have
haven't.
no clue what you're even talking about.
I'm just surprised. Do you
really
always
don't.
need to put people down?
Just
Fresh
because you
bread?
marry a simp doesn't mean anything.
Boo-hoo.
Right.
TikTok, this is educational purposes only. I want to make sure TikTok understands. We are only responding to his behavior.
Are you out
No
of
one is
wine,
bullying
Grammy?
this man. In
think
fact,
you need
he's
to
on his
refill your wine.
phone. He's on his phone. He could drop off and leave. So he's not being bullied. So as he's reporting and trying to get the live taken
I'm
down,
not
when we
reporting.
appeal at TikTok, make
I'm
sure you
not
give it back
reporting.
and make sure you
I'm trying to
against him.
mansplain something to you, you nasty woman.
Liar.
Oh, wow.
Because you have LDE, buddy. We can all see it. It's so
Hey,
little.
I'll
that
bend
we
you
can
over and
see
spit in your mouth and bend you over and open and spread your legs out if you want me to, you old lady, you old bag.
Promise. Do you
Oh, wow.
promise, big
You want me-
baby?
I bet you like being choked too, you old hag. I bet you like being choked.
Are you done?
Just like Kamala.
Are you
Just
done,
like
big
Kamala.
guy?
All you
Come
bitches like
on,
being
let me
gagged.
have it.
You like being
Show
smacked
us
and
what
gagged.
you've got.
I'll give it to
Show
you just
us.
like you like
Come
it.
on.
Just like Montel, give it to you.
Show
Just like,
us. You know I'm
Right.
recording
I-
it, right? You know
What
I'm
you got?
recording it, right?
I don't, so what?
Just so I can post it for everybody to see how much of a misogynistic
That's what you
POS
you already said my,
Well, no, you're an abuser.
said my dick was
I mean,
small.
I just.
I mean, what do you, what, I mean, what
Baby
else
bottles
is it?
for Chad. Baby bottles for Chad.
Hey, it's not my fault I'm better than you.
Close. I hold 4 degrees. 4 them
So what?
bad
School
boys.
doesn't make you
You
smart.
I feel like
What's
I
your net worth?
recognize.
What's your net
Hold
worth?
on.
me.
What's
Keep
your net
talking,
worth?
Fresh Bread. I feel
What
like
is
I
your net
recognize
worth?
this voice.
What is
Not
your
even
net
a
worth?
candle.
What is your net worth?
Oh my gosh, I think I recognize
Life
this
and money,
voice.
babe.
What is your
Baby.
net worth?
All that money doesn't mean nothing when you've got a
'Cause you
little
ain't got
D
nothing.
and nobody's
You
sitting
got
next to you now,
nothing.
does
You
it?
got
I've been
nothing.
married for 30 years.
So
That's my
fucking
net
what?
worth.
Fresh
Now, where's the
30
kids at?
years.
Where's the
You
kids
can't
at?
even keep a girlfriend, bro. 30 years. You can't keep a girlfriend.
Empty
That's
egg
my
carton.
net worth.
You're
What's
an
yours?
empty egg carton.
Huh?
You're an empty egg carton.
I was.
You're wrong. I have a child. She's grown. She's probably older than you.
Oh, another girl,
That's
another dumb whore like you.
So how long have you been an abuser?
that's for
Miss
sure.
Bread?
You can call my kid names too. It won't matter. She's
Another
a bitch
dumb
just
woman
like her
like
mom,
you.
and she'll tell you that.
Another dumb
All
woman.
right,
She'll
hold
tell
on,
you that.
Grammy.
Congratulations.
You're an abusive piece of shit, Fresh Bread, and I think you should know it. And I think it's important that other people know it, because the fact that you just have to continuously be vile to people, it just exposes how insecure you are. And
Yeah,
who
I
you
tried to
are.
have
That's how
a
hard
conversation
you're
with
running from yourself. So I was just curious, like,
Don't
how
wanna
many
listen.
times has your girlfriend had to call the police on you?
Stupid woman.
This is interesting.
Need to be told to shut the fuck
And
up.
you know he's ugly as fuck too, because
No,
he
yeah,
can't
no.
even do his
You're
profile
just a dumb
picture.
woman at the end of the day.
That's
He's
you
hiding
exposing that
his
you're an abuser.
he's hiding
Fresh
his
Bread, right?
identity
You're just a
because
dumb
he's on a
woman. You can't
registry.
listen. You just can't listen to.
Well, you're the
Shut
dumb
up.
that
Shut the
needs
fuck
to
up and
abuse
let me
people.
speak. Let
right?
me tell you
You're an
something, you
oh,
stupid
you
girl.
need to talk. You need to say words because I'm an abusive piece of shit that's really fragile,
You're
right?
a
And I
dumb
just
girl
gotta
that needs to
assert
feel
myself
important.
here because you
You're a
need
dumb girl
me.
that needs to.
We don't need you. We don't want
Yes,
you. We don't
you're
give two
coping.
flying shits
You're
about
Fresh
you.
bread.
You know
I
what?
can guarantee you, Des has a better beard and a better head of hair than you do. I guarantee
Oh,
it.
go change the
A better
printer.
beard and a better head of hair than you do.
Go reset
Your
my-
LDE is
Set up my-
so visible, it's
set up
not
my-
even funny. You are probably sitting in your mom's basement in some dirty ass sweatpants with pizza grease on your fucking shirt. Grow up.
You want to know about me?
Oh,
I'm
but the
actually
thing is that Fresh Bread has always lived a very
10%
privileged
body
life. Where he
fat.
can
Turn your
put,
camera
I'm
on
he's
then,
vacation
always
buddy.
20.
had people around him. Like Fresh Bread has always
Pop
had
that
people
camera
around
on,
him
Fresh
he
Bread.
could beat up,
Stand 10
that he
toes
could
down.
put down, so that he could feel good about himself, right? It's always been about Fresh Bread for
Oh,
Fresh Bread, right?
why don't you
It's always been about you, right? You've always had someone that you
always been
perceive to
about me?
be inferior to you around you to feel good about
Keep
yourself,
muting me.
right? Oh, do you muted? Are you sad that you can't get your attention? That you're not being centered? Aw. Well, guess what? No. You abusive piece of shit. It's just wild how entitled you
You're just
feel
a
to be
dumb.
vile. It's
Dumb.
disgusting. Like you're the worst of humanity, right? Like when you watch the movies, right? And when you see the evil
Dumb
pieces of
girl.
shit that everybody
A
roots
dumb
for to
girl.
get like horrifically
A
maimed
dumb
and
girl.
mutilated and end, right? That's you. You're that guy. You're choosing to willfully be that
You
guy.
just,
You're not the knight in shining armor. You're not the dutiful soldier for honor and country. You don't give a fuck. You don't give a flying fuck about anyone but yourself. And you don't even do that well, right? And here you are, just so crying so hard. I don't get to talk. Stop muting me. You're hurting me. I'm the victim.
you
Let
get
me
to,
see. Moo, you're
get a
just
little,
all so dumb and I'm so smart. My penis is big and you don't have
you
one.
get a
You
little bit
bleed
of
all the
power.
time. That makes me better because
You
I
can
can lift big weights.
look how much.
You see, you feel good? Do you feel good about being in this space and thinking that you're better than people here? That's wild, dude. It's so sad. It's so fucking sad.
A female
How
progress.
pathetic you are.
The room too. Is that going to help? Do you need a nap and a diaper change? Like your behavior is so unreal. My 12-year-old grandson is more
Done
capable
yapping?
of having conversations like this than you are. And that is sad. Look, you can't even turn your camera on and stand with your face. I stand with my chest, 10 toes down for everything I say. Every single thing that comes out of my mouth. But you can't. Because you're just a bully on the internet, or you want to be a bully. The sad part is you came up across some people who you can't bully. There's nothing you're going to say to me that's going to hurt my feelings. I've had worse shit said to me by better men than you, buddy.
Are you done?
Are you done? That's the real
I'm sure you've been
question.
around the
Are
block.
you done
I'm sure
and
you've
ready
been
to
around the
proceed
block.
with an
I
actual
know you've been around the
conversation?
block, Grammy. I know
Or
your type.
are you going to continue
I know
to
you've been
throw a
around the
tempe
block,
tantrum?
Grammy.
I've definitely been around the block. Are you
I
fucking
know your
kidding me?
type. That's all
I
you're good
had
for.
me a good motherfucking
That's
time.
the only
I
thing
sure
you're
the
good
fuck
for.
did.
You're only good for one thing.
Woo-hoo. Yeah.
You're only good
They
for
don't
one
call me
thing.
Mighty Mouth for nothing,
You're a
motherfucker.
collection of holes to use and discard.
You're just jealous.
It's so funny. You think you're more than objects, and then you want
Mad
to
I
shame
can
me.
suck a good dick and you
You
can't?
think you're more than an
Educational purposes,
object.
TikTok. F1 in the
You
chat.
think you're more than an
Hashtag TikTok
object,
shop.
and then you want to shame me for my sexuality. It's so funny. All you are is a sex
Nobody
object.
shamed you
Yeah,
for
nobody
anything.
mentioned
There
sexuality.
you are. You're saying that
At
I can't.
all.
You're saying I'm small dick energy. You're saying I can't get a girlfriend. You're a
That's
stupid
it's
girl.
not your sexuality. That's just because you suck as a human being.
You
That's because
suck.
you're a sucky guy who walks around with
You
grease
suck.
stains on his shirt,
You're a
who's
piece of
probably
shit.
fucking balding and, looks ridiculous. Probably wearing
Actually,
clothes
I
from
own a
1972
software
still.
consulting
Who
company,
cares?
and I have over
I
$1 million
doubt it.
in net
Then
worth.
why are you
I
here
don't believe you at
wasting your
all.
time on the internet
I'm better
instead
than
of
you
busy
at all
doing
you
rich
want.
people shit?
Nothing.
You know
Because
why?
someone
Because
needs
you're
to
not.
tell you
You're a
hags
liar.
that you're not
That's who you
shit.
wish you were.
You're
I know
Someone
that's
like,
needs
who
oh
to
you
yeah,
tell
like
you
a rich
hags that
person's
you
gonna
ain't
sit
shit.
around on
You ain't
TikTok
shit.
and waste
You
their
ain't
time
shit.
telling us
You ain't
hacks
fucking
who we
shit.
are.
You got a beta
Absolutely,
male.
Is that
I
what you say
bet,
to
You got a
yourself
buddy.
in the
beta
mirror at
male.
home,
You
Fresh Bread?
bully him
Nope,
around. He's
yep,
an ugly.
yep.
You're
Come on, tell us.
Oh,
projecting
Are you
your
done?
all you
Let's
can
just let
get.
him go,
All
and then he'll go away. Let's let him say
you're
it
a
all, and then let's all just let him
you're,
go.
you're a barroom hoe at best.
Are you so concerned about who she's sleeping with? Because you don't sleep with anybody?
Because you wish you
Because he's
could.
got a
Because,
crush.
like I
That's
said, if I told
why.
you my body count, would you respect me? You worthless whores.
I
It's funny
respect
you're
men
talking
who've
about
been
body
with no
count because I'm
one, and I
calling you
respect
hoes.
men who've been with 100 people.
So wait a minute. If I
count
didn't have
doesn't
sex with
matter to
women,
me.
you're going to shame
Why?
me.
Is your
But if I
body
do
count
have sex with
zero?
women, you're going to
Is
shame
that
me.
why you're
You're
so
just mad
concerned
because it's
about what
not
we're going to
you.
think, Mr. Rich
You're just
Man?
mad because
Is
it's
it
not
because it's
you.
zero? Is that what it is? It's zero?
Uh-huh.
Was I
I
right?
already
You're at
told you
home in
I'd spit in
mommy's
your mouth
basement
and
with
choke you
grease
out if you
stains on
want me
your
to.
shirt. Is
I
that why
told
it
you I'd
matters?
choke you
Because
out.
if you had a
I
big
told you
ass
I'd
body
choke you
count,
out. I told you
you
I'd put
wouldn't
it in
be
your
worried
butt.
about what
I
anybody else
told you I'd
thought.
put it in your butt if you
I
want me
have
to.
respect for
You want a cream
anybody.
pie
No,
with
I
it?
was
You
asking
want a
you,
fruit pie?
is
You want a
it
mouthful?
zero?
I give
That's
you a
the
mouthful.
problem. Listen, that's
I
the
give you a.
problem. And he just
If you tried. But I'm gonna I love you guys. I'm gonna dip because fresh bread isn't worth the time of day and is really quite pathetic and sad. So I love you guys. You have a good
Oh,
one.
thanks so much for coming.
It's so good to see you. I need to catch you more. This is good. Have a good
Yes.
one, fam.
All right. All right. Take care, Des.
don't leave, fresh bread. Don't leave. You can re-request. I just wanted to be able to finish what I was saying. I have no problem respecting men who have a zero body count. I have lots of friends and family who have a zero body count. I have no problem with that. I have no problem respecting men who have a high body count. I have a moderate body count. My point is, the whole reason that you brought it up is because you are insecure about it because it is zero. And you just admitted that it was zero, which proves my point. That's why you're up here saying the nasty shit and projecting on me. Because yours is zero and you are uncomfortable with it. You don't respect yourself. And that is a you problem, sir. That's not a me problem. I respect men who can wait until marriage. I respect men who can go their whole life without touching a woman. I have no issue with that. My issue is that you projected your insecurities onto me.
Silver, you've been quiet.
Listen, if that man really had a mouthful, he wouldn't have been up here running his mouth like that. He's trash. He just needs to make women feel bad to make himself feel good. You know, I think somebody in the comments, actually, I think it was KJ that said earlier when he was talking about, you know, his partners, we wanted to know how many of them consented, because he absolutely does not favor consent in any way, shape, or form when it comes to women. And he hates that we've gained, you know, our freedoms from being under his thumb. And that's really all he wants. He just wants to abuse women.
Oh, right. I need to take a break.
Okay.
So
Are
yeah,
you
I will.
okay, host?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. I'm just gonna take a little break because it's been like an hour and a half. So,
Okay.
but I will be back in about 15 minutes.
Okay.
So I
15?
think a reset is quite good right about now.
Ooh.
I think so too, because I've noticed your numbers haven't gone up like they normally would have
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
Like they didn't. I think I don't know what's happening, but normally they'd have went up to like 60 after that.
Well, that guy was
Yeah.
just,
And
he was definitely killing the vibe, the audience. He just didn't want anything to do with anyone who had anything nice to say. Anyway, thank you so much for having me, again, for inviting me. I'll be back.
Of course, anytime.
I,
Yeah, I'll be back in
I'd like.
15.
Okay. Thank you, Witchy, for being a respectful man. It's more than we can say for some of the men that have been up here today. Drop
Yeah.
us before you end it. Drop us from the box and then end it. It's supposed to be better for the live.
Right. So I'll be back in 15 minutes.